Okay, in this segment, we will talk about Bluetooth. Bluetooth is something that everyone uses, but the question is, what is Bluetooth? We use it on our phones, we use it on laptops, or almost all devices. So I just want to make it simpler for my viewers to understand the basics. I'm not going to really dig deeper. I'm just going to have the basics. So Bluetooth is a technology that allows two devices to communicate. So let's suppose if you have a phone and if you have let's suppose you have a speaker and you want to play the music on your speaker. But you got to make sure the speaker has a Bluetooth technology inside. And if the speaker doesn't have a Bluetooth, you won't be able to connect to it. So the Bluetooth allows the communication between two devices. So this is the technology that have been invented in the 90s. And it was named after Harald Bluetooth. Harald Bluetooth was a king of Denmark, and he was able to bring together Denmark and Norway. He was able to unite Norway in Denmark, and he was also introduced Christianity to Denmark. So that's where the name was. That's where the name comes from, and we also can mention that the guy who developed this technology was from Denmark. And I'm going to go next to how the logo comes about. So the logo of the Bluetooth is just the initials, Harald Bluetooth. So they combine that and then get the logo. So let's talk about the functionalities of the Bluetooth. What does it do? What is this for? So the Bluetooth allows, as I mentioned earlier, allows two devices to connect to each other, and allows also the data transfer. If you want to transfer data, if you want to transfer your naked pictures, if you want to transfer your music, if you want to transfer your videos, it allows you to transfer from one device to the other. So keep in mind, it allows you to transfer data. That data could be audio data, pictures, videos, files between two devices. And it also allows you to connect to the Bluetooth itself can connect up to 8 devices at the same time. So we would like to make sure that do not confuse between Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are not the same. They are completely different. Wi-Fi allows you to connect to the internet. Bluetooth is a technology that allows you to communicate to a different device. And Bluetooth also has it uses very low power. And when you use a Bluetooth, it doesn't really affect the battery of your phone. It uses very low power. So at the same time, the fact that it uses low power helps the Bluetooth to avoid interference with other devices. Okay, so it has also a range. So it only has 32 feet range. You can't go further than that. Let's say you're using your Bluetooth and for some reason you went outside and then there's no signal. Keep in mind that the Bluetooth has only 32 feet range. So if you go beyond that, you'll lose a signal. And the other point that I would like to mention is there are two types of communication when it comes to Bluetooth. There is one called half duplex communication. This terminology is not really important, but I just want to mention that there is one-way communication and there is two-way communication. The one-way communication is half Bluetooth communication, half duplex communication. The second communication is full duplex communication, which is two-way communication. So an example of one-way communication could be you want to print a document from your phone to a printer. So you connect to the printer and you print it out. So this is only one-way communication. You're sending it from your phone to the printer, and you don't receive any communication from the printer. So that's called one-way communication. The two-way communication is basically your cell phone. If you use a Bluetooth, you'll be able to talk and also to listen. So that's a two-way communication. So this is about the functionalities. Let's move on to the next step, which is the security of the Bluetooth. So security is a big concern, especially when it comes to technology. Even though a lot of companies are moving toward a smart home, smart devices, but the problem is these devices could be at risk, and their security could be compromised. So in this case, Bluetooth signal can be intercepted by a hacker if the Bluetooth is not secure, if your phone is not secure. Let's suppose if your phone doesn't have the authentication and authorization tools, the signal could be easily intercepted by a hacker. And in order to avoid that, a lot of companies, they put those tools, the tools about authentication and authorization, that gave the permission to the user to accept or deny an incoming communication. So if your Bluetooth is discoverable by someone else, you have the ability to deny anything that comes to your phone. Thus, in this case, if the phone is secure by the manufacturer. And the other option is you can also turn it off. You can turn off your Bluetooth so that it cannot be discoverable by other users. And the other point I would like to mention is there are two types of. There is something called blue bagging, which is a hacker can take control of your phone without your awareness. So if you accept any incoming communication from a user that you don't know, once you accept that, a hacker will be able to take control of your phone. And this is the same way they can also control your car by using the Bluetooth. I'm not saying control the car, but they will be able to establish a communication between your car and them. So these are, I'm just giving you the basics of Bluetooth to have a little bit of understanding of what is it. Because a lot of times, most of the time we see it all the time, but we don't know exactly what it is. So that's the reason why I would like to present this so that people can have a sense of what the Bluetooth is.